From these hissing lines. The station clock is waving its hands over its face, in a frantic gesture compelled by time. In two minds torn, weeping, we turn away. Hissing and sweating, the train, crouched along the platform, seethes with furious impatience to spring from the fiery, growling mouth of the station into the famished future. No more than in dream can I resist these compulsions which impel my benighted soul to those dark distances. For besides, it is late. It is always nearly too late. And I am fitful and running a high fever. The moon has risen, and unconscious urges clamour for the light which will strike towards me with the dawn. I have to seize sun, dispel night, for I have been long and deeply dreaming. The station has taken on the aspect of an Arabian palace with its high-vaulted arches and its blue air sprinkled with stars. From the walls the names of cities boom on electric tongues which conjure up distance, dispersion, whilst the hours, which tick like hammers, plunge everything present into the future. And you, shrinking on the platform, into the past. From these hissing lines, farewell. The picture is already fading, and I forgetting, not just you, but everything, as a man, distracted by his name, forgets himself. Anima. A volcano spits sparks amid the stars on the edge of night. A dog runs insane in the shadows desire casts about. A snake lies watching a woman at a well, eyes dropped into the water where silver fishes flash in moonlight, and from which she pulls a pail brimming with silvery luminescence, which overflows and flies away as words. She turns the two halves of the moon in her eyes to face the flaming sky and smiles. It's for that smile I sweep the sky with nets, for words and birds and stars and sparks to take to her, as little humming odes to tempt her ear as the shells of the sea that tell of the tales of her legendary heart. The crowned on its steps, the drowned in its depths. We're like to be troubled at the lack. Without the coupling, the reuniting deep within the both of us, as we know we must, we're like to topple into black. For we are but two poles apart, merging, verging on paradise, just flesh between, with its alluring landscapes and its crimson streams. So take my hand, slip your mitt into mine as a wordless sign that were but a movement of the lips, but a moment from a kiss, a sudden, certain bliss. For without the coming and the joining at the intersection, welded again at the place we split, heart to heart, the blood mixed, we're like to be troubled at the lack. I have danced on the road at the wind-blown turn. I have danced on the road at the wind-blown turn. I have sunk in my blood with the sky and the trees. I have uttered a shout which has shaken the earth, I have drunk in the rain with the pores of my skin. I have rolled in the ditch and sprung on the field. I have spun like a top and cast away past. My head is the sky and my thoughts are the wind, as the cries of the rooks are the voice of my heart, that has sung through the hamlets of the lighting of fires, smoke in the valleys and mist on the moon, hymns to the evening that bring out the stars. Children and dogs come running by, cycles of time, fragments of rhyme. You in 3 moments. Here where the road curves and 2 pines like tall columns reach whispering towards the stars, you on night-taken feet of a sudden stop, agape at the moon, slung betwixt their branches like a pearl. Now spring, which has all the vineyards singing with streams, and the slopes in green cloaks strewn with flowers, has you, lingering on the paths which wind between the vines, singing to the stars. Strains of music through the evening, a clarinet, a violin, a voice, drift in intermittent waves along the wind, to where, beneath the willow by the lake, you watch the water toss the moon about. Lisbon Harbour. In Lisbon Harbour, by the docks, where massive vessels lie at berth along the quays, you can loll against a column and steam across the Tagus with your eyes. You can hop on a ship and sail to China, or over the wide Atlantic to the great Americas in your mind. And in Lisbon Harbour, when the sun has sunk the colour of blood into the swell, you can drink with sailors from every far-flung corner, who, with their eyes on the gulls and over a beer, will tell of their lives at sea, the tedium of weeks at a stretch beyond the horizons, without any women. The talk will drift to prostitutes, punch-ups, prisons, on every longed-for shore, in every port from Reykjavik to Rio, to storm, to madness, murder, and the loneliness of the sea, too deep to tell. And in the depths of drink they'll weep, the debris of their dreams adrift upon the tides which rise and fall and are their lives.